Before I start this video, if you've not subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, please click the like button, share this out through social media, and leave comments in the comment section. For the last couple of months, I've theorized that Marvel would be moving off its December 18, 2026 release date for Doomsday. My main reasoning was because the field is rather crowded during that time frame. You have Jumanji Part 4, you have Doom Part 3, you have Shrek Part 5, and Ice Age Part 6. Just to name a few. And on top of that, Doom Part 3 has exclusive use of the IMAX theaters for the first couple of weeks during its release. So anything being released during the same time frame, like Doomsday, will not have access to those theaters or the funds that they create. But I was absolutely wrong. Kevin Feige's hubris has completely surprised me. And he must think that it's like 2018 or 2019. At CinemaCon, Disney basically announced their counter to losing those IMAX theaters, and here it is. Just announced at CinemaCon, Infinity Vision, a new certification for premium large format theaters, designed to signify to audiences the biggest, brightest, and most immersive cinematic experiences. Infinity Vision sets a new benchmark for theatrical presentation. What a load of garbage. But here's what the real story is. So how it basically works is Infinity Vision is premium theatrical certification that marks auditoriums with largest possible screens for maximum scale, laser projection for brightness and clarity, premium audio formats, Dolby 7.1 or higher for immersive sound. It's not a new projection or screen technology, it's about branding and standards. So they're just basically telling you that these screens are better. Theaters must already have large format screens and high-end audio systems. Disney just certifies them and marks them as Infinity Vision. Big whoopee shit. Disney launched Infinity Vision at CinemaCon 2026 to counter Warner Brothers' Dune Part 3, which has secured IMAX exclusivity for its December 18th release. IMAX's 3-week window and the fact Dune Part 3 was shot in IMAX 65mm film gave it priority. Without IMAX, Disney risked losing a major premium ticket option for Doomsday. No, they did lose it. That's the whole point. Instead of moving the release date, Disney chose to debut Infinity Vision in September 2026 with an Avengers Endgame re-release. Okay. Basically, what they're trying to do with this re-release is connect it to Doomsday. I don't know. What are they going to do? Add a couple minutes at the end where you see Doomsday doing various things? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to connect it. I really don't care either. And it's also, they're going to roll it out to Doomsday in December 2026 so fans could still find high-end screenings. And here's where the rubber hits the road. Availability: 75 Infinity Vision screens in the US and less than 300 globally at launch. That is not a lot. I mean, there's like 4,100 screens, I believe, in the US by itself, and only 75 of them are going to be certified Infinity Vision. Compare that to IMAX, which has a little less than 1,700 screens. So that is basically what we're looking at is a 5-to-1 ratio, almost 6-to-1. That is not going to make a big dent in the box office. Or, to really put it another way,
not a great plan.
Nope, not at all. It's a horrible plan. I still think they should be moving off that date. They could go to Memorial Day 2027. They need, even if I believe the number, I think John Campea recently released something and he said the production budget was 400 million and the marketing is 300 million. That's 700 million. That's 1.4 billion just to break even, depending on how much you get from China, which I don't think they're going to get a lot. So they're going to need 1.4 billion basically to break even. I actually believe that the real number for the production is probably somewhere between 5 and 6, probably closer to 6, just because we already know the bags that Robert Downey Jr. and the Russo brothers got. I guarantee you Chris Hemsworth got a bag. I guarantee you Patrick Stewart's going to get a bag for dying for the 5th time in a Marvel movie. It's going to be the 5th time, right? You got X-Men Part 2, got Days of Future Past, you got Logan, and then you got Doctor Strange mom. So that's 4. So this is going to be 5 because they're going to kill him again. Sorry, spoiler. I mean, if you haven't heard this by now, if you haven't heard the basic plot, and that's another problem with all this, is that the basic plot that I've heard is that from numerous sources is basically that Doctor Doom's going to go around killing everybody. Sorry if this is a spoiler, but I really can't believe that this is going to be a spoiler at this point. It's been out there for months that this is the basic plot. He's going to go kill everybody and then he's going to bring them all back at the end, or bring most of them back. So the movie has no stakes. I mean, it's kind of like Infinity War and Endgame. I mean, they brought everybody back and they're just rehashing it. I mean, one time I can handle the plot point, but Doomsday and Secret Wars is just a rehashing of Infinity War and Endgame. You're just going to be bringing everybody back. And the problem also is they're trying to tell everyone that you don't need to watch anything from phases 4 and 5 or even the beginning of phase 6, because this is supposed to be happening right after Doomsday or shortly thereafter. The problem is they have all these characters from phases 4 and 5 and from the new Fantastic Four movie. And if I was a normie and I had stopped watching at Endgame and I believed the hype and I had no other information, I would be kind of going in to this believing that, well, I'm just going to see a continuation of Endgame and I'm going to be able to recognize all these characters, except there's going to be a whole bunch of characters from phases 4 and 5. And I'm going to be kind of going like,
who are these fucking guys?
Exactly. Who are these fucking guys? Because there's so many. I haven't watched any of the X-Men movies from Fox because they were in phases 1 through 3. I mean, just follow the rationality. I don't know who Deadpool and Wolverine are because they weren't in phases 1 through 3. I don't know the Thunderbolts. Anyone from Disney minus any of those television shows that are going to be in this. I don't know how many dangling keys they brought back, but there's going to be a significant amount of people that if you stopped watching after Endgame, you're not going to know who these people are. And if you don't read the comic books. So it's all very, very confusing if you just stopped at Endgame. It's going to be very confusing to you. So they're lying about that, just like they're lying about the budget. I'll guarantee you that. And we'll eventually find out because I believe part of this was shot in England and they'll have to release the tax documents, and when we do, we'll find out the real number, and it ain't going to be 400 million. There's just no way. Okay, it cost 356 million to produce Endgame. And that was with Robert Downey Jr. getting a much smaller bag. And that was with the Russos getting a much smaller bag. And Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, like I said, Patrick Stewart wasn't even in it. And I can guarantee you he's going to get a bag because he's getting killed for the 5th time. And I'll tell you what, if I was Patrick Stewart, yeah, you're bringing me back to kill me again. Seriously, guys. Yeah, you're going to have to pay me, and pay me big time. And just all these people, all the dangling keys. All these people who are going to be in for probably 5 minutes. Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, if they're in it. Tobey Maguire, if he's in it. Andrew Garfield. I mean, all these people are going to have to be paid if they're in the movie. And it doesn't matter how long they're going to be in the movie. They're just going to have to be paid. So to say this is 400 million when Endgame cost 356, no, the math just does not end up. Like I said, 500 million, 600 million, somewhere in there, closer to 6. Hell, I wouldn't surprise me if it's 6, which means you need 1.8 billion just to break even. You ain't even going to sniff anywhere near that. My prediction is this thing's going to top out about 750, 800 million. It's going to not make $1 billion. Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to kill this. The Mario Brothers have already probably killed it. They've made more than this movie will make. I don't think people are going to buy it. And the way it usually works, this thing's just going to need to jump out of the gate. It's going to have to be like at 600 million. And I don't see how you get that. That's going to have to be the initial release. Box office globally is going to have to be close to 600 million if you think you're going to reach 1.8 billion. And without all those IMAX theaters, there's just no chance. So I'm still waiting. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm still waiting for them to move off this. This Infinity Vision isn't going to move the needle at all. I'm just waiting for them to figure it out. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap up this video. So like my father told me when I was 18 years old, the free video's over. Get out.